Hey everyone, welcome back to DLC. In this video, I'm going to show you how I contour my face. Stay tuned! So I'm going to start off first by priming my face with NYX Photo Loving Primer. You can honestly use whatever primer works best for you. I know there's a lot of primers out there, specific for redness, pores, making them smaller. So this is the best primer for me. It really gives me an airbrush finish when I'm done with the look. So next, I'm gonna apply foundation, and I'm gonna use Too Faced Born This Way. So I use this foundation when I am going, out, not just for work. This is just like, my second step up foundation from my lightweight foundation that I use for work. So I really find this foundation also creates a very flawless airbrush look, and I think it's perfect for my skin type as well. And you can build it from a medium to full finish. So now I'm just going to take my dual fiber stippling brush and blend in all that foundation all over my face. I generally like to apply the foundation on my face first, instead of like having it on my hand or on a piece of like mirror and then applying it to my face. I just like to apply all of it and then blend it out. And I use a tapping motion with my brush because I find that I get no streaks that way. And again, I get a very airbrush matte finish when I am tapping it on my face. And I don't really like using sponges, as I've mentioned in a video before. With sponges, I feel like it absorbs a lot of the product, and I tend to be using more than I want to be. So I feel like the brush is honestly the best way to go for me. I know a lot of people like to use beauty blenders and other sponges to apply their foundation, but I just find that the brush wastes no product and it gets the job done. Okay, I think that my face is pretty much covered. I wouldn't say that it's full coverage, but it's medium, and that's what I like. I don't really like the full coverage lot of foundation look. So next, I'm gonna take my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer, and it's a few shades lighter than my actual skin tone, and I'm just gonna apply this on areas in my face that needs a little brightening. So that's usually right underneath your eyes, because bags. I'm not gonna put too much, but just enough to brighten it a little bit. I'm also gonna apply it on this section of my forehead, just a little bit, just some streaks right here where it catches light, as well as the top of my nose as well, and my chin. Just a little bit, you don't have to use a lot to get a very natural look. Next, to blend that out, I'm going to take a sponge. I know I just said that, I don't like using sponges to apply my makeup. However, I find that using a sponge for this portion really helps a lot. And I got this tip from Jaclyn Hill. I watched a contouring video of hers about 2 years ago, and she suggested using a damp sponge to contour or highlight your face, and because it really makes it matte and it just blends out beautifully. So since then, when I tried it, honestly, what she said was the truth. So I've been using that technique since then. Don't wet sponge too much, just enough to make it damp. Squeeze out the excess water if you need to. And then I'm just gonna use it to blend it out. Okay, so now that I've blended the concealer out in the areas that I want to brighten, I'm just going to set it with the Mercier Translucent setting powder. The setting powder is pretty expensive, but it's pretty amazing as well. Like, it honestly sets my concealer and just my overall look just really well. It looks so matte, and you know, as I've said in my previous videos, I love the matte look. So I'm a huge fan of this powder, and it's lasted me pretty long. I would say so far at least 8 months. I don't use it often, like during the week when I'm at work, but when I do go out on the weekends, that's the only time I use it. I'm a huge fan of this setting powder. So now I'm just gonna take that same sponge, still damp, and apply the setting powder where I applied the concealer. And just kind of pack it on. Don't leave it, you know, too lightly. You wanna see the white. So now that we finished that, I'm just gonna let it bake, and it's literally baking your face, for about a few minutes while I contour the rest of my face. So for that portion, I am going to take the Morphe 8H Hi-Fi Sculpt and Shimmer Highlight and Contour Palette. It is honestly such an amazing palette. As you can see, it comes with 4 contouring shades as well as 4 highlighter shades. I think I paid $35 Canadian for it, and I think it's a very good purchase to make because of the amount of things that you get in the palette, because usually one highlighter is going for $30 or $35, and even a contouring shade is in that amount. So I think you really get the value that you pay for in this palette. So I'm just gonna take this shade here called Fabulous and apply that on my cheekbones, my forehead, and that's it. Now you don't want to apply too much because then you've got a really dark line. You kind of want to gradually build to the look that you want. I usually just tap my brush of excess product, lightly tap it in the shade that I want, and then I start from my ears, like from the point of where my ears is here, and kind of just bring it down a little bit. I don't bring it down all the way because I think that look a little bit too harsh, and that's not really what I'm going for. What helps me find the right area to contour is I usually go from the top of my ears, like right here, I find that area, and then just diagonally straight down. It usually meets with the end of my mouth here. That's kind of how I find the area to contour. Okay, so next, you don't really necessarily need to do this step. It's just an extra step that I like to do to create a sharper contour here. So with the same sponge, I'll take the translucent powder and just kind of create a straight line right underneath the contour. So while now that's all baking, I'm just gonna do my eyebrows and then I'm gonna brush everything off. now that I finished my eyebrows, I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe off that translucent powder, and then we'll apply some blush and highlighter. So I wiped off the translucent powder, and to be honest, the line is a little bit harsh for me. So just gonna take a brush and blend it out a little bit, just to take away from the harshness. You don't have to brush like outside of the area, just within the area to, you know, take away the harsh lines. It helps. Not so harsh. So now I'm just gonna take some blush. This is from Bare Minerals, You Had Me at Merlot. Honestly, it's such a pretty color and it complements my face so well. I use it all the time. With blush, I don't like applying it right on my cheekbone or my cheeks, the apple of my cheeks. Wow. I usually start off at the end and just kind of gradually get closer to the apple of my cheeks. And I don't go like directly on my apples of my cheek. I go right above where I contoured. So it kind of like blends in from the contour to the blush to the highlight. I find that looks very pretty and very subtle. You know, you don't have contour, blush, and then highlight. I mean, I see a lot of people do that and it looks very good on them, but that's not what I'm trying to achieve here. I'm trying to achieve a very subtle look. So now that we finished off with the blush, I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills Amarezzi highlighter. Gorgeous, gorgeous highlighter. It's just such a pretty golden tone. It's just, oh, I could fall in love with it. I am in love with it. But so I'm gonna use that. I mean, I could use a highlighter from the Morphe palette, but I bought the Amarezzi highlighter before I bought this palette, so I gotta use it. And for highlighter, again, I don't like packing it on, so I'm just going to lightly apply some on my brush, tap out the excess, and start at the end of my eye area here. Kind of just lightly rub it in. To get the look that I want. A little bit more. There you have pretty much the finished contouring look. Just gonna apply some lipstick to finish off the full look. And there you have the finished look. Very subtle, not too harsh, but still accentuating certain areas of your face. You know, contouring did not come easy to me, and it still doesn't come easy to me. Sometimes when I go out, I go, oh, a lot of people say, oh, how did you get that contour so nicely done? And I'm like, it was just a good day. To be honest, like, I practice a lot and I'm still practicing. So if you don't get it right on the first try, that's okay. I still don't get it right on the first try. So that is completely okay. And I know a lot of people still don't get it right on the first try. Contouring is hard, and I'm not gonna deny that, but I hope you like these little tips and tricks and products you know, that I use to kind of help you find your way with contouring and how it fits your face. If you like this video and if you would like to see more, please subscribe, hit like, and comment. Bye for now.